Hoppers is another flopper for Disney Pixar. But how bad is it? And how much is the media lying, trying to save this one? Hang tight, folks. You won't believe the story on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the day where we hop forward, losing an hour of sleep, but that's all right because we never sleep around here anyway, right? Not as long as there's news to cover. And boy, oh boy, is there news to cover today. As we dive in, click the like button. If you're not yet subscribed, we would greatly appreciate it. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, damas y caballeros, beavers and other wildlife out there, take a look at this out of Deadline. From Anthony D'Alessandro, Hoppers bounces to $46 million US. Best for Pixar original since Coco. Perhaps we should say original. The Bride Ugly with 7 million plus Sunday AM box office update. Let's read it and I'll tell you how bad the media is lying to you about an abysmal, terrible, horrific box office for Pixar. And no, I'm not a hater. So for those of you out there who just want to say, he's negative pro again. No, this is truly horrifically bad. There's no way around it. I hate to make Pixar sad, but the numbers do not justify these headlines, and that means propaganda is afoot. From the Sunday AM update, Pixar's originals, Hoppers, leapt to a $46 million US-Canada opening, the best scene for a Pixar original, as well as an original animated movie since 2017's Coco. Global was also big at 88 million, 42 million of that from 40 territories. Not only is it a big comeback for a subgenre that families would flock to without question pre-streaming, but also Pixar is a phoenix rising here. Oh, come on. Oh, folks, this has fueled a $98 million overall domestic box office weekend. Hold the phone. We have weekends where a single movie makes more than the entire box office did this week, and you all are crowing and glowing about this. They don't believe what they're writing. I want you all to know that. They don't believe it, not for a second. Anthony might, but nobody else does. We love Anthony. $88 million global, and we're excited about that. $46 million US and Canada, and we're excited about that. Listen to this. Listen to the Boardwalk Times, Andrew Stanton, defending Hoppers through its development because, by golly, he's won. He's done it, ladies and gentlemen. He has managed to get through a masterpiece. Quote, "We just knew that if that was us in the first 10 years, we would have, all of us at Pixar, I'm talking from Steve Jobs down, would have fought off the barbarians at the gate to make that film the way it is. It felt like a true OG Pixar to us." We gave it a 3.75 here on the channel. It's just okay. I mean, it's a glorified Disney Plus thing. But it keeps going, folks. The praise keeps going. I'm about to dismantle that. Hang tight. Luis Fernando says, received with strong WOM. Pixar's new original Hoppers crushes industry projections and beats The Wild Robot as biggest opening for an original theatrical animation post-COVID. How many caveats do we have to give at the U.S. box office after grossing a strong $46 million on 3-day opening weekend? They don't tell you they did 2 extra days previews, but whatever. $46 million to get there. All right? Folks, where does that put this thing? Well, we've got an article on that. Out of That Park Place, Pixar is toast, and the media reaction proves it. I'd like for you to read this. I welcome you to go read this over on That Park Place. You can see they're trying to make this trend. They say in a recent study, Tom Lizard from Hoppers has the same level of popularity as Mickey Mouse, Stitch, Winnie the Pooh, and Olaf. Sure he does. Most of you out there don't know who Tom the Lizard is. It's that little green thing. It's little Kermit. Timu Kermit, right? Timu Kermit is as popular as Stitch. Sure he is. He's as popular as Mickey. Sure he is. Pete Docter on Tom Lizard. I don't know that you could ever predict these things. They go for blah, 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 blah. Okay? You ready for this? All right? Hoppers is currently on pace. This is the truth of the matter. Hoppers is currently on pace for a $40 million box office weekend domestically, beaten by $6 million, including an extra day of previews nobody wants to talk about. That would place it as the definitive second to worst Pixar debut adjusted for inflation. Let me say that again for everybody who is confused. This movie has debuted adjusted for inflation. And why do we do adjust for inflation? Because if we go back to 95 when Toy Story, the first one, came out, this movie beats it, but it only beats it because ticket prices back then were like 10% of what they are today. Okay? So you got to adjust for that. In terms of butts and seats, tickets purchased, cultural impact, adjusted for inflation, this is the second worst Pixar debut ever. Only Elio is worse. Oh, that was the last one. With a $150 million reported budget and at least $100 million in marketing, Hoppers needs to break $500 million to break even. And that's looking tougher and tougher the longer we look at this thing. Remember that Super Mario Bros. Galaxy is likely to be a $1.5 billion box office behemoth money printing machine, and it's coming in 3 weeks. So Opera's got 3 weeks to make all its money, because you know Mario's going to kick it right out of the box office. It won't be there. Everybody's going to be going to see Mario. So that's what they're doing. That's what we're up to, folks. That's what we're up to. And now they're celebrating, telling you, well, oh my gosh, we got the second worst debut ever for Pixar, but it's a glorious Phoenix-like return. It's worse than Elemental, but by golly, we're doing things here. Woohoo! Hurry. Give the director for Turning Red a musical. Hurry, do it, hurry. What did it beat? What did it beat, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go back and see. From Coco, because it didn't beat Coco. Now, Coco, remember, came out almost 10 years ago. Movie ticket prices then about 40% cheaper than they are today. Okay? And it still can't beat Coco. All right, so it lost Incredibles 2. It lost to Toy Story 4. It lost, I think, to Onward. Yeah, adjusted for inflation. That's crazy. Onward came out during the pandemic. No, it barely beat Onward. I don't know. Anyway, not adjusted for inflation. Okay, I'm seeing it right now. Not adjusted for inflation. It did not beat Onward. Wow. Soul went to Disney Plus, so it didn't come out in theaters because of the pandemic. Lucas, same thing. Turning Red was actually going to come out, and it was so bad that they freaked out and they put it on Disney Plus at the last minute and yanked it from theaters. Lightyear, now what they're trying to tell you is that Lightyear, because that's a character that is tangentially connected with Toy Story, but this character was not the action figure, that is not, it doesn't count, folks. It doesn't count as an original animation. Doesn't count. Why? You know why. Because even Lightyear would break the narrative here. Elemental, Inside Out 2, Elio. Okay? The only one it beat adjusted for inflation is Elio. You know how bad that is? You know how horrifically bad that is? It's terrible. It's terrible. Now, how does that compare? Okay? Because I want you to know, not only are they telling you that it's the best Pixar, but it's the best release for an original IP. But you can't count Mario Brothers. Why? Well, because that would break the narrative. And I know Mario has been around since the 80s, but, you know, Mario is not typically associated with a film franchise. I mean, it had one film back a long time ago. I don't remember if it was late 80s, early 90s, but a long time ago, live action. But it's not a film franchise. At least it wasn't. It came out and made, what's it say here? Let's go down. This is out of ComScore. Number one spot at the domestic box office with a 30-day weekend debut of $146 million. That was the launch of Mario into a film franchise. Okay, but you can't count it. Can't count it. That breaks the narrative. Don't count it. Ne Zha 2, the Chinese film. Okay, it debuted. Now, admittedly, it's not a big deal in America, but its worldwide debut was insane. Insane. Okay. Now, the opening here is just listing the domestic, but the worldwide debut was insane. And I know, when it comes to Chinese box office, I'm careful too. But, you know, they're saying it made $2.2 billion. Hoppers is going to be lucky to break even. Hoppers is going to be very, very, very lucky to break even. The second worst box office debut by a Pixar film adjusted for inflation, and they are out there absolutely acting like this thing is tearing down the house. It's blowing up the glass ceiling. Pixar's back, baby. And you know why they're saying that? Because they have to. Because they were told to. Do you believe it? I don't believe it. You think Pixar's healthy again? That's the narrative you're supposed to believe because we got a new CEO coming in and he needs you to believe that, right? Disney needs you to believe that. Pixar's just fine. Ignore the fact that they're giving a musical, the first ever musical by Pixar, to the director of Turning Red. That should make investors turn red right now. No, the narrative official is Pixar's back, baby, and get ready for Toy Story 5. The truth is not on their side. And now you know what's really going on, ladies and gentlemen, because we here at the Pro Channel, we cut through the propaganda and give you what, well, is really going on in the halls of Hollyweird. And that's the deal. The message has gone out. Do everything you can to save this thing this weekend. By next weekend and the next weekend, what will they do? well, they'll moderate a little bit, but they'll move on. And this will be in the dustbin of history along with other films, just like Elio. And why? Well, because there won't be a need to try to push this to move tickets any longer. As soon as Mario comes out, it's over. And they'll move on to other stuff and they'll lie again. I'm not accusing Luis, of course, of lying. I guess this stuff is kind of true, but it's the way they flavor it. There's no way in the world that I would come out and say, second to worst debut ever adjusted for inflation. Woohoo! We got something great here. I would never do that. You would never do that. But, scruples have we. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the video. Now you know what's really going on. Pixar in a bad way. We'll talk more about it this week. If you'd like to experience that sort of thing, consider clicking the like button. Share and subscribe and drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Join a community dialogue. Did you see Hoppers? What did you think of it? We here gave it a 3.75 out of 10. Not as good as even Elio, I think. This one is just mediocre. It's just okay. It's Disney Plus fodder put on the big screen. All right, until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always on this beautiful Sunday, keep having fun.
Hey there, I'm Wilton. I've taken on a new role at the sunny Florida travel agency. If you use my travel agency, I promise with my little troll heart that you and me can hang out at the Fountain of Nations at Epcot at Walt Disney World. I can also hook you up on a good deal for water at the parks too. Send me your Walmart gift card codes now. Hey, Floral. What are you doing here? I'm trying to do an advert.
Couple things. This is quite literally a scam that you're trying to run on WDW Pro's channel.
What?
Folks, look. This is a green screen, and Wilton stole a B-roll from Pro.
Wait, are
Wilton
you
lives
for
in
real
Canada
right now?
and doesn't even have a passport.
Have I ever scammed anyone that you know of before?
Yep.
There's not a Fountain of Nations anymore.
Details are for the weak, Jose. Besides, I've got a bunch of Pro's audience that still think that Lauren has hair.
Oh.
We got this.